Okie dokie, let's move on and talk about parents. Now, you may have noticed, right, that sometimes children look like their parents, right? The appearance is very similar. So you could say, I look like my father. Or I look like my mother. If the appearance is really, really close, you can say, I'm the spitting image of my father. I'm the spitting image of my mother. If your personality, so not your appearance, but your personality is like your father, you'd say, I take after my father. Take after. I take after my father. Or maybe, I take after my mother. That's always referring to a parent, right? You cannot take after your brother. You only take after your parents. Another useful phrase is, my parents brought me up with good values. This is often the case, right? Where we learn really about the good and the bad. It's from our parents. My parents brought me up with good values. Parents bring up their children. To bring up means to educate, to help them grow with certain ideas. Great. In the modern world, families often live in different cities, or at least parents live in different cities, and we stay in touch by WhatsApp, Skype, video conference. A phrase that unfortunately I often use is something like, I don't see a lot of my parents. As for my dad, I don't see a lot of him. I don't see a lot of him. Very natural, but it just means I don't see them a lot, obviously. It doesn't mean the relationship is bad. It's just that probably we're living in different cities. Finally, if your parents have died, you can say, a very common way, my parents have passed away. To pass away means to die, in this case. My parents have passed away. My mother passed away 20 years ago. Okay, great. Let's push on and talk about the nitty-gritty of partners, wives, and husbands. So now let's talk about wives and husbands, or more generally, we say spouses. Or partners. Partners is a very popular word nowadays, I think, especially to create safe spaces. Because sometimes, well, a lot of people are not actually married, and so they're not considered husband and wife. Also, you may meet a woman and you say, well, how's your husband? But maybe she's married to a woman. And so partner, how's your partner, creates a space that is safe for everybody, right? Okay. Let's talk about love. Love. Now, sometimes when you meet somebody and there's this instant something, right? You fall in love. Here are 3 phrases about falling in love instantly, like instant coffee. First of all, it was love at first sight. I'll do it slowly. It was love at first sight. You can imagine, right? First sight, instant love, like instant coffee. I fell for her instantly. Doesn't mean you fell, but maybe you did, but it's the idea of falling in love. I fell for her or for him instantly. The last one is not so much about love, but about getting on well, right? We just clicked. We just clicked. Lovely sound, clicked. We just clicked. To click with somebody is to get on very well. Now, all of that is quite Hollywood-esque, right? I mean, it's Hollywood style. You meet somebody, there's passion, you fall in love straight away. But life isn't always like that, right? I mean, sometimes marriage, it's hard work. It takes time. You go through ups and downs. You learn new things about your partner over time. Some you like, some you don't like. It's not all a bed of roses. So sometimes that love grows over time as you get to know the person. In this case, you could say, we've grown to love each other over time. Or, we've grown closer and closer over the years. We've grown closer and closer over the years. Nice expressions. So, different ways of falling in love. Firework or gradual growth. Okay, now I couldn't leave the topic of family without giving you one of the most common idiomatic expressions, which is blood is thicker than water. Blood from your family is more important than water from your friendships, meaning family is more important than friends. Blood is thicker than water. Is it true? I don't know. You probably have a similar expression in your language. Let me know in the comments. Another comment? Yes. Let's move on. I'm going to finish with a nice model answer to that question. Tell me about your family. Now, the clever ones out there are saying, Keith, tell me about your family isn't a question. All right, smarty pants, that's true. The question would be, what's your family like? It's the same, right? Tell me about your family. Okay, all of this is absolutely true, and it's a great way to review vocabulary. So here we go. I'm from a medium-sized family. I was the youngest of 3 siblings. I think all three of us are quite different. My brother and sister are quite extrovert, and I'm definitely the most introvert. We certainly have our ups and downs, and although we do fall out, sometimes we usually make up. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of them because I live abroad. But that said, we do stay in touch with WhatsApp and video conferences. Talking about my parents, I take after my dad, and actually I'm also the spitting image of him. I would say I have my mother's love of cooking. She was a phenomenal cook, but unfortunately she passed away many years ago. Of course, I am married now. I say of course, maybe you don't know. No, I am married, and I have been married for around 20 years, and we have a daughter who is 15 years old. To be honest, between you and me, my wife and I are like chalk and cheese. But I think it's the differences that make our relationship interesting and certainly keep us on our toes. So, again, between you and me, my wife likes to be in control. Some would say she's a control freak, but not me. And I think I am Mr. Laid Back. I'm much more relaxed and easygoing than my wife. Probably too relaxed at times, she would say. And maybe she's right. But all in all, we complement each other. As for my daughter, well, she's a mix of both of us in a way. But I would say undoubtedly she is much smarter and better looking than the pair of us. So that's it. That is a little bit about my family. So listen, we've looked at lots of interesting and useful phrases for you to talk confidently about your family with natural spoken English. We've talked about family size, about parents, about children, siblings, brothers and sisters, partners, and even I've pulled the curtain. I've told you about my family a little bit as well. And do remember, focus on your natural spoken English. I mean, books are good and useful, right? Absolutely. But the great thing about video is you can get the sound, the pronunciation, and a real feel for the language. So keep practicing. Remember, check out Cambly. If you want to practice all of this with some native English speaking teachers, you can do. Cambly is the place to go. You can try a 15-minute lesson for free for a first-time user, see if it's right for you, and then if you decide to go for it, you can go for a 1-year package and get 40% discount with the code NEWKEITH. Check it all out in the links below. This has been great fun. I'd love to find out more about your family. Let me know. Keith, seriously? Another comment? Yeah, go on. You know it makes sense. Leave me a comment. Tell me about your family. I'm really eager to know and learn about families around the world. Do remember, subscribe, turn on notifications, and listen. I will see you in the next video, just around the corner. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.